Hello everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to dive into a heartfelt story about Tuna, her quiet life on the farm, and the complicated twists that arise when Alex continues to care for her. His sister grows suspicious, and Tuna's own brother steps in with questions that could change everything. It's a tale of love, sacrifice, and secrets that may reshape their futures. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming stories. Tuna lives a humble life on her farm, raising her son Henry with quiet strength. Alex often visits to help, but his kindness sparks growing resentment from his sister, who believes Tuna is unworthy. Meanwhile, Tuna's brother visits, secretly suspecting she may be his biological sister. He quietly takes a strand of her hair for testing, while Alex's sister misinterprets their meeting as a secret romance. Her prejudice deepens, painting Tuna as shameless. Feeling like a burden to Alex and wanting to protect him, Tuna makes a painful choice. She asks her brother to pretend to be her lover. When Alex sees them together, he is devastated, believing her lie. What unfolds is a story of sacrifice, misunderstanding, and unspoken love, where secrets and mistrust threaten to tear fragile bonds apart. The morning sun spilled gently across the wooden windows of Tuna's small farmhouse. Inside, the aroma of warm porridge drifted through the kitchen as she stirred the pot with steady hands. The rice was a gift from Alex, who had stopped by the day before with his usual kindness. Tuna worked quietly, her movements both graceful and heavy with unspoken burdens. She carried the weight of being both mother and protector, determined to build a future for little Henry, no matter how much it cost her strength. When the kitchen was tidy, she stepped outside. The farm was alive with sound, the chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves in the wind, and the distant hum of animals stirring awake. Each task she did, from watering the herbs to feeding the pigs, wasn't just work. It was a silent promise to Henry. Every seed she planted, every fence she mended, was like building walls of a fortress to shield her son from the world's hardships. Up on the cassava hills, Alex walked alongside Lon, his boots coated in red earth. He surveyed the 10 hectares stretching before him, listening carefully as Lon explained the soil's fertility and this year's promising yield. "Will it be enough for starch production?" he asked, his voice low and steady. Lon nodded, her hand pointing to the thriving rows. "Yes, if the weather holds, the farmers will see a strong harvest." Alex's gaze lingered on the crops, sharp yet thoughtful. His mind wasn't only on the profits. He thought of the farmers who trusted him, of the families relying on this land. His ambition was real, but so was his compassion. Where Tuna's diligence was quiet and personal, Alex's work was broader, reaching into the livelihood of many. Both of them, in their own ways, carried responsibilities larger than themselves. By afternoon, Tuna's small home glowed with the simple satisfaction of work well done. Henry slept peacefully in the corner, his little breaths filling the room like music. Tuna stepped outside to the fish pond, surprised at how much the fish had grown since she last checked. "You've grown so fast," she whispered, her eyes sparkling with pride. though deep inside her health weighed on her mind. She worried she might not be strong enough to carry this burden forever. Meanwhile, on the hillside, Alex spoke firmly to Lon. Provide the farmers with more fertilizer and make sure they have the funds they need. The tubers must reach the highest quality. His voice carried ambition, but also care. He envisioned building a new starch factory, one that could meet soaring demand and bring stability to countless households. His dreams were big, but his heart was steady. As dusk painted the fields gold, the worlds of Alex and Tuna seemed parallel. Two people fighting for very different futures, yet strangely connected by quiet threads of care and determination. That night, as Tuna tended the pigs under the dim glow of lantern light, the sound of a car interrupted her routine. Alex appeared once more, carrying a mosquito net, a basin, and even a wardrobe. His arms were full, his smile warm. "These will make things easier for you and Henry," he said. Tuna froze, gratitude and guilt colliding inside her chest. "It's too much," she murmured, her voice trembling. But Alex only smiled, helping her set up the wardrobe, cutting ropes, placing it neatly in the corner. He glanced at Henry, sleeping softly, and something tender flickered in his eyes. "Did you and the baby sleep well?" he asked gently. Tuna nodded, but a wave of self-doubt rose inside her. Was she becoming a burden to him? Was she holding him back? The thought unsettled her heart. Later that evening, another car arrived. This time, it was Tuna's brother. His arrival filled her with joy and emotion. He carried gifts, asked after her health, and his eyes brimmed with both love and quiet suspicion. "Are you okay? Walking all the way back here must have been exhausting," he asked softly. Tuna smiled, explaining how Alex had renovated parts of the farm, the pigsty, the light bulbs, even helping her with daily needs. Her brother nodded, but his gaze flickered, doubt swirling. As she turned away, he quietly plucked a strand of her hair, tucking it into his pocket. "I'll get this tested," he whispered under his breath, suspicion gnawing at him. He had long wondered if Tuna might be his sister by blood, and now he intended to find out. Tuna didn't hear his muttered words. Instead, she spoke about longing to see their mother, her voice tinged with sadness. Elsewhere, Alex's sister paced restlessly. Her heart was heavy with unease. She had watched Alex's visits grow frequent, his kindness toward Tuna deepening. "He's falling for her," she whispered bitterly to herself. The thought was unbearable. In her eyes, Tuna was nothing but a burden, a single mother who had no place in Alex's life. And when she passed by the farm one evening, she saw something that sent her blood boiling. From a distance, she spotted Tuna and her brother talking in low tones. To her, it looked intimate, even secretive. Her chest tightened with jealousy and disgust. "So she has a new lover already," Alex's sister spat, her eyes narrowing. The idea confirmed everything she already believed, that Tuna was unworthy, reckless, and shameless. From that moment, her dislike for Tuna grew into open disdain. She whispered to herself, "I'll make sure Alex knows exactly what kind of woman she is." But inside the farmhouse, Tuna sat quietly with her brother, unaware of the storm brewing outside. She poured him tea, her hands steady despite the weight in her chest. She told him gently, "Brother, I need your help. Pretend to be my lover. If Alex believes I already have someone, he will step away from me willingly. I don't want to be his burden anymore." Her brother stared at her, stunned, conflicted. The plan was reckless, yet the desperation in her eyes was undeniable. For Tuna, it wasn't just about protecting Alex from scandal. It was about saving herself from the guilt of dragging him down. And so, in the quiet glow of lantern light, a dangerous idea took root, one that would soon ripple into every corner of their fragile world. The next morning dawned cool and misty, a silver haze stretching over the cassava hills and the quiet farm. Tuna stood at the doorway of her small house, her heart unsettled. The decision she had made the night before, asking her brother to pretend to be her lover, echoed in her chest like a guilty drumbeat. She didn't want this lie, but she believed it was the only way to shield Alex from her world, a world she felt was nothing but a burden. Her brother, sitting at the wooden table, sipped the warm tea she had poured. His eyes lingered on her face, conflicted. "Tuna," he said finally, his voice low, "you're asking me to lie. Do you know what this could do to Alex, to his family, and to you?" Tuna lowered her gaze, her fingers nervously twisting the hem of her shirt. "I know, but if he keeps caring for me, people will only despise me more. His sister already hates me. She thinks I'm shameless. If he believes I have someone else, maybe he'll stop coming here. Maybe he'll live freely without me weighing him down." The pain in her words silenced her brother. He wanted to argue, to tell her she was wrong, but the sadness in her eyes held him back. He only nodded slightly, agreeing to her desperate plan, even as his heart wrestled with doubt. Meanwhile, on the other side of the farm, Alex prepared supplies for the farmers. He gave instructions with his usual calm authority, but his mind wasn't entirely on the crops. Every time he tried to focus on numbers and yields, his thoughts drifted back to Tuna. He remembered her weary smile, the way she tucked Henry into bed, the pride in her voice when she spoke of her little improvements on the farm. Something about her lingered, and it tugged at his heart more strongly each day. But his sister, sharp-eyed and restless, was already determined to poison that feeling. She strode toward him later that morning, her voice tight with accusation. "Alex, do you even know who Tuna is? Last night, I saw her with a man. They were talking like lovers. And you?" She paused, her eyes flashing. "You've been wasting your time and money on her." Alex frowned, his steady gaze narrowing. "You saw her with a man?" "Yes," his sister snapped. "Don't pretend you don't know what that means. She's not what you think she is. She's a single mother, and now she has someone else. Do you want to ruin your reputation for her?" Alex didn't reply immediately. Her words stung, but his heart resisted believing them. Yet the seed of doubt was planted. Back at the farmhouse, Tuna tried to stay calm. She busied herself with feeding the animals, sweeping the yard, preparing Henry's lunch. But her brother's presence loomed like a shadow. From time to time, he studied her with quiet intensity, the strand of hair he had taken the night before heavy in his pocket. If the DNA results proved she was his sister, everything could change. But for now, he kept silent, honoring her strange request to act as her lover. Later that day, Alex appeared again at the farm. He brought fresh vegetables, rice, and a few school books for Henry. As he stepped into the yard, he froze at the sight before him. Tuna was sitting in the shade with her brother, their voices low, their posture close. To Alex, it looked intimate, familiar, like two people bound by more than friendship. "Alex," Tuna greeted, her voice strained but steady. She forced a smile, though her heart hammered in her chest. Her brother glanced at her, silently reminding her of the lies she had asked him to uphold. "This is my partner," Tuna said suddenly, the words sharp and deliberate, cutting into the quiet air. Her eyes flickered with guilt, but she held her chin high, bracing for Alex's reaction. Alex's face darkened, his jaw tightening. He looked at the man, then back at Tuna, disbelief flashing in his eyes. "Your partner?" His voice was low, almost a growl. Tuna nodded, though her hands trembled. "Yes, I didn't tell you before because I didn't think it mattered. But now you know. I don't want you to worry about me anymore. I have someone." Her words sliced through him, though he tried to mask it. "I see," Alex replied flatly, his tone colder than she had ever heard. He placed the bag of vegetables on the table without another word, turned on his heel, and walked away. Tuna stood frozen, her heart breaking, even as she forced herself not to call after him. This was what she wanted, wasn't it? To drive him away, to free him from her world. But why then did it feel like she had just shattered something precious? Her brother watched silently, his fists clenched. He had seen the pain in Alex's eyes, and he couldn't shake the thought that this lie was crueler than the truth. Days passed. Alex avoided the farm, burying himself in work. His sister noticed and felt vindicated, whispering to herself that she had been right all along. Yet in his quiet moments, Alex couldn't forget Tuna. The image of her, sitting beside another man, gnawed at him. But so did the memory of her warmth, her sincerity, the unspoken bond they had shared. Meanwhile, Tuna carried her burden heavily. At night, she lay awake listening to Henry's soft breathing, her chest aching. She had succeeded in pushing Alex away, but the victory felt hollow. Every kindness he had shown her replayed in her mind. The wardrobe he built, the mosquito net he hung, the tender way he looked at her son. Her brother, too, grew restless. The DNA test results would arrive soon, and if they confirmed his suspicion, everything would unravel. He often watched Tuna and thought, if she is truly my sister, why would fate twist us into such tangled lies? One evening, as the sun dipped low, Alex returned quietly to the hills overlooking the farm. From a distance, he saw Tuna carrying Henry in her arms, her figure small yet resilient against the fading light. His chest tightened. He wanted to believe her, to accept that she had moved on with someone else. But deep inside, a voice whispered that something wasn't right. And in the shadows, Alex's sister lingered too, her gaze sharp and unforgiving. To her, the sight confirmed everything. Tuna was dangerous, manipulative, unworthy. She vowed to expose her completely, no matter the cost. Inside the farmhouse, Tuna rocked Henry gently to sleep, her brother seated across the room. The silence was heavy, each of them lost in thought. Finally, Her brother spoke, his voice rough with conflict. Tuna, lies have a way of catching up with us. Are you sure this is the path you want? Her eyes shimmered with unshed tears. I don't want to hurt anyone, but if hurting myself means saving Alex, then it's worth it. The night deepened, wrapping the farm in stillness. Yet beneath that quiet lay a storm of secrets, doubts, and fragile hopes, each waiting to erupt. The truth about Tuna's bloodline, the lie about her brother, Alex's wounded heart, and his sister's unforgiving gaze, all tangled into a knot no one could yet untie. And as the cricket sang into the darkness, Tuna whispered to her sleeping son, "One day, Henry, you'll understand why I chose this." But outside, unseen, fate was already shifting. The lies she had sown were no longer hers to control.